In 1994, inside a small Seattle garage, a young man typed the first lines of code for a website he believed could sell everything. He wore no suit. He had no investors. And when he pitched his idea to Wall Street, the bankers laughed. An online bookstore, they said? People like to shop in person. The internet is a fad. But Jeff Bezos wasn't trying to build a bookstore. He was building the infrastructure of the future. And within 20 years, that garage would become the command center of a $1 trillion company. This is the story of how one man turned ridicule into revolution, and how Amazon quietly rewrote the rules of capitalism itself. The early 1990s were the last days of a different world. If you wanted a book, you drove to Barnes & Noble. If you wanted groceries, you went to the store. And if you wanted to start a business, you needed millions in capital, warehouses, and retail space. The internet existed, but only for scientists and hobbyists. Most people had never bought anything online. There were no apps, no smartphones, no cloud computing. That's the world Jeff Bezos walked away from when he quit his high-paying job at a New York hedge fund called D.E. Shaw. He was 30 years old, earning a fortune, but something was missing. Bezos had read a report predicting internet usage would grow by 2,300% per year. To him, that wasn't a number. It was destiny. He told his boss he wanted to start an online store. His boss replied, "That sounds interesting, Jeff. For someone who doesn't already have a good job." Bezos smiled, packed his car, and drove across America with his wife and a laptop. Somewhere along that drive, he made the decision that would change business forever. Out of all the things he could sell, why books? Because books were perfect for the internet. There were millions of titles, far too many for any physical store to carry. They were easy to ship, and every customer wanted something slightly different. Bezos realized he could offer a catalog bigger than any store on earth, not by owning everything, but by connecting everything. He set up his office in a garage. He bought used desks made of wooden doors. He registered a domain name, Amazon.com. The name symbolized something vast, untamed, and powerful, the world's largest river. On the 16th of July 1995, Amazon sold its first book. Within a month, it was shipping to 45 countries. Within a year, it was making more than $15 million in sales. But profit? None. Every dollar Amazon earned went back into growth. And that's what made Wall Street laugh even harder. By 1997, Amazon went public. Its IPO valued the company at $438 million. Tiny, compared to giants like Walmart. Analysts dismissed it as a dot-com bubble. When Bezos appeared on CNBC, one commentator said, "Amazon's business model makes no sense. They lose money on every sale." Bezos replied calmly, "We're not trying to make money. We're trying to build something that lasts." Investors rolled their eyes. In their world, quarterly profits were the only language that mattered. But Bezos was speaking a different language, one of scale, patience, and vision. While competitors spent millions on advertising, Amazon invested in software, logistics, and data. Bezos wasn't chasing margins. He was building infrastructure. Then came the storm. In the late 1990s, hundreds of internet startups went public with no profits and huge promises. Stock prices soared and then collapsed. When the dot-com bubble burst in 2000, Amazon stock fell from $107 to $6 a share. Analysts declared it finished. Magazines mocked Bezos as the dot-com clown. Inside Amazon, layoffs hit, morale fell, and investors demanded answers. But Bezos never blinked. He told his team, "The stock price doesn't define us. What defines us is customer obsession." While others panicked, Amazon doubled down on logistics and technology. It expanded into music, electronics, and toys. Every new category tested one idea. Could the internet replace the store? Slowly, the answer became clear. Bezos believed business was like a flywheel, a massive wheel that spins faster with each push. Lower prices bring more customers. More customers attract more sellers. More sellers expand selection. Greater selection lowers prices further. Round and round it goes, a self-reinforcing loop that gains unstoppable momentum. It was simple, brilliant, and impossible for competitors to copy overnight. Walmart had stores. Amazon had data. And data doesn't sleep. By 2002, Amazon survived when most .coms had died. That year, it launched something no one expected: Amazon Web Services. It started as an internal tool, a way to store and process data for its own operations. But Bezos saw the bigger picture. If Amazon needed reliable cloud infrastructure, so would everyone else. So he opened it to the world. At first, no one noticed. By 2010, every major startup, from Netflix to Airbnb, was running on AWS. The cloud became the new factory. For the first time since Henry Ford, an American company wasn't just selling products, it was selling the engine of modern business itself. Inside Amazon, success never meant relaxation. Bezos built a culture of permanent urgency, what he called Day One. Every day is Day One, he said. Complacency is the enemy. Employees worked brutal hours. Meetings demanded data, not opinions. Bezos read customer emails personally, forwarding them with a single question mark, his signal that someone's job was on the line. It was intense. But it worked, because behind every decision was a single philosophy: focus on the customer, not the competitor. Amazon wasn't trying to beat Walmart. It was trying to eliminate friction, the friction between desire and delivery. By the mid-2000s, Amazon was no longer a bookstore. It was a marketplace, a technology company, and a logistics empire, all in one. Every dollar earned was reinvested into new warehouses, faster delivery, better algorithms. Wall Street still complained. "Where are the profits?" they asked. Bezos answered, "We're investing in the future. If we do our job right, the profits will come later, in ways you can't yet imagine." He was right. When Amazon launched Prime in 2005, analysts called it madness. Why offer free 2-day shipping for a yearly fee? Bezos saw something no one else did: loyalty disguised as logistics. Customers who joined Prime spent twice as much. They stopped comparing prices. Amazon wasn't just a store anymore. It became a habit. That habit changed everything. Behind every click stood an empire of motion. Vast fulfillment centers, robotic arms, conveyor belts stretching for miles. Algorithms predicted what customers would buy before they even pressed order. Bezos called it anticipatory shipping. Trucks moved products not where they were bought, but where they were likely to be bought. It was the digital version of clairvoyance, and it worked. While competitors were still guessing, Amazon was already delivering. Every successful delivery deepened trust. Every ounce of trust pulled the flywheel faster. By 2010, Amazon handled over 100 orders per second. By 2015, it was worth more than Walmart, the very company that once symbolized American retail power. For years, investors mocked Bezos for chasing scale over profit. But by the 2010s, those same critics were rewriting their reports. Amazon's profits exploded. Its web services division became the backbone of the internet. Its logistics arm rivaled FedEx and UPS. And suddenly, growth before profit became a new Wall Street religion. Every startup tried to mimic Bezos's patience. Every investor quoted his letters to shareholders. The man once called delusional had become the oracle of long-term thinking. While the world watched Amazon deliver packages, another revolution was happening behind the scenes. Amazon Web Services, the same cloud system born as an internal tool, had quietly become one of the most profitable businesses on earth. Every movie streamed, every transaction processed, every app loaded, all depended on AWS servers somewhere in the world. By the late 2010s, Amazon controlled more than a third of global cloud computing. Its profits from AWS funded experiments that no other company could afford: voice assistants, autonomous drones, artificial intelligence, even space exploration through Bezos's Blue Origin. Amazon had become less a company and more a living ecosystem, a network of technologies feeding each other's growth. Bezos's philosophy never changed. He believed the moment a company felt comfortable, it started dying. So Amazon kept expanding into groceries, streaming, cloud, and beyond. Competitors learned to fear the phrase, "Amazon is entering your industry." It meant the rules were about to change. But Bezos didn't chase everything. He chased systems, processes that could scale infinitely once perfected. Each move followed the same pattern: find friction, remove it, and let the flywheel spin. What made Bezos different wasn't technology. It was time. While most CEOs thought in quarters, he thought in decades. He built Amazon like a civilization, not a startup. He often reminded his team, "We're willing to be misunderstood for long periods of time." That sentence became his secret weapon. It bought Amazon patience in an impatient world. Every delay, every reinvestment, every risk, all served a long game few others could see. And in that patience lay power. But every revolution has a shadow. Inside Amazon's warehouses, workers moved under intense pressure. Every second was measured, every motion tracked. Critics called it digital Taylorism, the mechanization of the human body. Bezos argued that efficiency created opportunity, but even he couldn't deny the strain. The same system that delivered convenience to billions demanded precision from millions. In Amazon's world, success and sacrifice came as a pair. In 1994, Jeff Bezos wanted to sell books. By 2020, he sold time itself. One-click ordering, next-day delivery, instant entertainment, all shrinking the distance between desire and fulfillment. Amazon didn't just change how people shop, it changed how they think. Customers expect everything now. Companies chase infinite growth. And Wall Street, once laughing, now worships the model it mocked. Bezos didn't invent capitalism, he accelerated it. He showed that data could replace instinct, algorithms could replace managers, and patience could outlast profit. He didn't build the biggest store in the world. He built a new kind of world, one where efficiency became identity. The story of Amazon isn't just business history. It's a mirror held up to society. It asks, what happens when convenience becomes our highest value? When everything is available instantly, except time itself? Bezos proved that vision can turn ridicule into empire. But he also proved how fragile that empire is, built not on factories or steel, but on attention, trust, and a billion daily clicks. And perhaps that's the ultimate irony. Wall Street laughed because it couldn't see the internet's potential. Now, the internet belongs to Amazon, and Wall Street never laughs without checking its stock price first. Jeff Bezos once said, "In the long run, the customer is always right, but in the short run, you have to be willing to be misunderstood." He was misunderstood for a long time, and that misunderstanding built one of the greatest fortunes in human history. The bankers who laughed saw a bookstore. He saw infrastructure for civilization. Amazon wasn't a company that sold things, it was a company that sold possibility. And in doing so, it redefined what wealth means in the digital age. Because the truth is simple, Jeff Bezos didn't just outsmart Wall Street. He taught it a lesson it will never forget. Patience is the ultimate profit.